Oh, sugar, dun 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 dun. Oh, honey, honey, dun 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 dun. Oh, sugar, dun 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 dun. Oh, honey, honey, dun 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 dun. Mama say, Mama saw I'm your mama. Mama say, Mama saw I'm your mama. Mama say, Mama saw I'm your mama. Mama say, Mama saw. No, no smiles for me today. Can you see yourself? Can you see yourself? You can. Hello, everybody. Happy Friday. If you can hear me, drop a one in the chat. How are you doing? Let me know where you're coming from. Hey, nice. Is it nice or is it nice, like in France? um, did you have? I had him at 52. I had him at 52. Thank you. Hey Dawn. Thank you. I'm glad you can hear me. All right. I'm not gonna be here too long because I gotta go to the pharmacy. We'll give it about an hour max. Yeah, I had him at 52. I had my transfer at 51. So my birthday is May. I turned 51 in May of, oh my God, what year are we in? In 2020, Lord, in 2022, right? Yeah, I turned 51. And then I had my transfer. Sorry, I had a brain fart. I had my transfer in September of 22. And then I had my 52nd birthday this May of 23. And then he was born June 2nd. So I had him at 52. Um, thank you. Uh-oh. Are you? I just fed him and he already burped, but he might burp again. Let me turn him around. Are you TTC at 49? I kind of took that year off, honestly, because that's when I switched to donor, to double donor. Hey, is it Shelly? And hello, how are you? Hey, Lady Diana. Lady Diana. And Sugar says hello, too. We got a whole bunch of stuff back there. One of his lovies is back there on the couch. Okay, so yay. Yeah, I started at 46. I started with IUIs and donor sperm. And then at 47, I did my first egg retrieval. And I got one egg and that fertilized. We did a transfer. It was a fresh transfer. And I had Applejack, although I didn't make it to term. It was like a weird late implantation. I don't know what was going on with that pregnancy, but it didn't make it past Christmas. So yeah. In aid Nike. Hi, you made it to the live. Yay, Fri-Yay. Hey Shar, how are you? Have donor eggs, did PGT, 1 out of 5 made it. Oh wow. Hey Christina, how are you? 2 weeks in a row. We are watching you here in Nova Scotia, Langston and Aria. Hello, Langston. Hello, Aria. Do you want to say hi to Langston and Aria? Say hi. Hello. Oh my goodness. Okay. His little mohawk, I didn't put any product in it today. He's losing hair though in his bassinet. I can see. I guess it all has to come out, right? Technically, and then new hair comes in. But this obviously doesn't touch the bassinet. But the back is like I was just changing his sheets earlier. Twins via donor egg. Hey, 52 too. Oh, you are. Yay. See, you got two. You got a bonus one. Were they two separate or yeah, because they're not identical. Well, they still you had two eggs, right? Is one I'm assuming Langston is a boy. So I think you had two embryos transferred, but correct me if I'm wrong because I could just be making up stuff. They are obsessed with you and Sugar Bear on our team. Oh, cool. Very cool. Sugar Bear, can you say hi to Langston and Aria? I like that name, Aria. Hi, Aria. Hi, Langston. How are you? Sugar Bear says hello. Hi. Oh, Sugar. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, honey, honey. Transferred to Langston as well. Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah, so now I'm in a quandary of, well, it's not even a quandary anymore. Like it's just gonna be logistics. I definitely want to have another one. He needs a sibling. So I just gotta figure that out. I've been trying to I'm neurotic that way. I printed out calendar. So I think I'm going to start talking to the fertility doctor when he's 9 months. So the MFM said I could start trying at 9 months, but I want to nurse him until he's 12 months. So I'm going to start weaning him. Well, actually, we're going to do baby led weaning starting at 6 weeks. But what is it saying? Food before one is just for fun. So I won't wean him from breastfeeding until 12 months. But I figure by then I can be lined up with like all of my tests as far as like if they want to do a sono. Oh my God, what is it with the water? You guys know what I'm saying. I can't think of the word, but the one what they do with the water where they look at the lining of the uterus, I'll probably want to do that. Any other blood work, I might have to have an EKG again, like all of that stuff that I had to go through before. So I can like do that during the 3 months and then on month 3 be ready to go. So yeah, I have just got to figure out how I'm going to pay for it. Hopefully there's only one. So if it's one, it's easier to pay for. I don't think I'm going to do the immunology thing again. I know it sounds crazy, but like maybe my body will remember. I can do all the omega, like the omegas, the DHA without going back. It's just so expensive to go back. I'll look on their website though. Maybe they have a discount for the second time. I know they have a discount if you have a fail cycle and then you have to do another one. But obviously I got my take home baby. So I don't know if I have to start all over. Excuse me. I'm just not keen on the what time is it in Nova Scotia? I'm not keen on not being able to talk to the doctor all the time. Like I think Dr. McConnell at Columbia spoils me because she calls me on a Saturday, but I don't get to, like I have to schedule time with Dr. Thornton and I have to specify if I want it to be video. And then I have the nurse who is like in the witness protection program who only calls me from a block number. I can't call her. It's easier to email her. So I'm not crazy about that part. So I think, oh no, my little light went out. I was trying to be fancy. This is supposed to be like this is from Temu, that's why. It's supposed to be like a light this for when you do your lives. That lasted all of 5 minutes and it's been charging for a good minute. Maybe it wants to stay charged. Oh well. Does this have a port for it? This is silly. No, because this only has one USB. Okay, hopefully you guys can see me all right. The sun is going down and I pulled that curtain. But yeah. Hey Jayloni. Is it Jaylonia? Jalonia, what are your twins' names? Saline Sano, thank you. Thank you. The Saline Sano histogram, is it? Anyway, yeah, so we can do all that. So he's 12 months in June. So if we go back May, April, March. So I would start like in March talking with the doctors and getting stuff lined up so that we can have a June transfer. That's what I'm thinking. That'll be interesting at work, but you know what? You only live once. You gotta thank you, be black. Everybody's saying saline. Yes. I don't know. I still have pregnancy brain. I'm still having like brain farts, so forgive me. So oh, you have a goddaughter named Aria? Awesome. I'm glad you're doing good, Shar. Do you do consulting? I really need help. Could I email you or someone on here? You can email me. I don't know if I technically do consulting, but I'm happy to chime in and give you my opinion on things. You obviously know I'm not a doctor, but sometimes people like to ask me what would I do, so I'm happy to share that. Or what do I know about something? I'm happy to say that, but I wouldn't like make specific recommendations, except my whole general recommendation based on my own path is if you are 45 or older, don't waste your time with IUIs. Go right to IVF. And some clinics still won't even do IVF with your own eggs at that age. But I feel like I wasted a year, almost 2 years with IUIs. I knew it was a slim chance. Now I realize how slim of a chance it was. And even if it had worked, what the chances were of it being like a normal egg. You know what I mean? That would be my only like generic advice for everybody. But yeah. Hey Melanie, officially 38 weeks tomorrow. Happy early birthday. Whoop whoop. This or happy early like birth, you know what I mean? Born day. I don't know how delivery day. Happy birthday to the baby. You know what I'm saying. Oh, after Langston Hughes. I love that. That is so cute. I love that. Those are some big shoes to fill in. Are 2 years old. Okay. I think it's Jalonia. I'm seeing jail and I'm getting stuck on that. Jailonia? I'm sorry. It's 8:13 in Nova Scotia, here visiting from Nashville. I'm originally, oh, you are. We are on Hurricane Watch. Oh, sending out prayers. Hopefully no hurricanes. That's scary. Hey, just playing my game and watching TV. Okay. What game are you playing? I've been playing on mine all day. I had to get off of there because then I started buying things on the game because I've been playing so long, like I ran out of everything. I played June's Journey. Does anybody do that? I'd switch between June's Journey, the traffic game, traffic puzzle, which I end up playing them now, like when he's nursing, and he was nursing all morning. I think he's having a growth spurt. I nursed him right before this and I prepped a bottle for him. So hopefully. Excuse you, sir. Are you yawning? Are we keeping you from something? Are we keeping you from something? Huh? Huh? Are we keeping you from something? Mama say, Mama saw I'm your mama. Mama say, Mama saw I'm your mama. Oh my goodness. He's not giving me any smiles right now. I'm using that song so he can do mama. Because I read it's like they do ma, da, ga, and something else. So I want to make sure I keep saying mama because I can't wait to hear him say that. Aisha's handmade items. Hello, happy Fri-Yay. And B is saying, I meet Dr. Oh, you know what? I should put this up on the screen. I'm using StreamYard and I'm not putting it up on there. And shout out to anybody who comes in on the rewatch crew. Leave a little blue heart in the comments to let me know that you did a rewatch. And everybody who's here, if you wouldn't mind giving me a thumbs up, that would help. Helps the channel, helps me, costs you nothing, I promise. I meet Dr. Thornton Monday. I haven't had testing yet with Pregmune, waiting to see what he advises. Any tips for meeting with him? Ooh, so I don't know. I would just be prepared to go over your history. Like our first call, we went over our history. I had, what do you call it? Recurrent miscarriage or recurrent pregnancy failure is what I think they call it. Is it RPF? I can't remember. But I did a second opinion first from a woman at UC San Francisco did it through, oh my God, what is it called? I'm blanking on everything. The company Grand Rounds, not Grand Rapids. Hello, Michigan. Grand Rounds. And so my employer does that at no cost, or offers that service at no cost, I should say. So I had already had that because I had the 3 miscarriages while on the journey. And so I went over my whole medical history. I'm trying to think, what else did we talk about in the beginning? Like, how long will it take? So, for example, with so you have the one meeting before you have the Pregmune, then you get the Pregmune, you do the test, and then you do. Where are you located, by the way, B Black? Are you in Jersey? Because that makes it a little bit easier. Because in New York, there's this one test they don't do here, so you have to go to New Jersey or you have to go to Connecticut. But once you get your results back, then you go over everything. And like for me, he gave me 2 options. I could have IVIG, which it took forever for my insurance to approve it. And then by the time they approved it, I didn't have the time in my schedule to do the IVIG because it takes a while. It's a couple hours. Someone has to come to your house, yada, yada. And work was picking up for me. So the other option was to do Plaquenil, but I had to do it for at least 30 days before. Whereas I think the IVIG is like 2 weeks before. So that took a little bit longer, but I wasn't in a rush because I had, had 5, was it 5? Yeah, I was coming off of 5 failed IVF transfers. So I wasn't in a rush for the 6th per se. I was still preparing myself mentally, so that was fine because both of the doctors were like, where did you go? What happened to you? But yeah, ask him for his number. I would do that. So I have the number for the main guy. Like I have his mobile number because after I complained, the secretary referred me to him and he gave me his number, but I never got Dr. Thornton's, and I didn't want to push it after that because I didn't want to come across as entitled, but I do feel like I'm paying. I should be able to talk to one of the doctors at some point. So I would ask for his number, honestly. He's the sweetest thing ever. Somebody's calling me. It says United States. That's weird. Anyway, they usually say like Fresno, California. Anyway, so yeah, I would ask for his number. That would be the main thing. But just ask him like what to expect. And the other thing is be prepared once you get pregnant. Like you're gonna have to lay down another $3,000. Like I didn't have that money at that point, so I had to wait. Like I think I waited 2 weeks. I had to wait for a paycheck, and then so at that time I just continued my medication as as I had previously been instructed, but you want to have the money right away so that you can talk to them right away. Does that make sense? Like after you get your BFP, it was fine the way it ended up, but I would just have that. Because as soon as you get the BFP, they want the money. Like the day they're like, "Congratulations! Here's our credit card authorization form." You know what I mean? So where I was thinking it would go to the end of the cycle either way, and if the first one doesn't work, but we're not going to talk that over you. Say for example, if it doesn't work for someone else, they then give you a discount for the second time around, and then just be ready to pay for your meds. My everything but the IVIG was straightforward as far as like insurance covering the meds, and insurance covered some of the Pregmune costs because it's Pregmune is the name of the test, but there's another repro source, I think they process some of it, or I can't remember. I know I have a bill. I still have one more from Repro Source for $700 that I need to pay before it goes to collections, because medical collections are the worst on your credit report. But yeah, so sorry, I'm used to doing the high voice for him half the day. It is. I was watching some speech pathologist, and they said that's good to get their attention to like vary. And my voice is fairly deep, so I try to. Anyway, I'm all over the place. Yeah, so whoever that company was, the insurance didn't pay for 100% of it, but they paid for a good chunk of it. So you may want to ask him on that call, like, what costs to expect from that and what codes they will use, because you can call your insurance and get the codes ahead of time. So, but after a certain point, they did not want to bill my insurance anymore because, well, at least the assistant that I talked to was like, well, they normally never approve that. And I'm like, who is they? Like, have you had another client that had my insurance through the same employer, right? Because it's not about the insurance company. It's about what service does what is your employer cover if you have employer based insurance. So if you have like, I don't know, what is that other thing called? Affordable Care Act, and they know what the insurance will cover. But you know what I mean? You just have to be persistent. I had to, at least with the insurance stuff, because I wanted them to, ooh, are you okay? Why are you flopping your head over there like that? And you holding on to your little bib cloth or whatever that thing is called. Yeah, just, and let him know whatever your concerns are, what your expectations are as far as communication, what your expectations are as far as like lab results, and just like ask him to lay out what you can expect from. Oh, sorry, baby, I keep doing that. I scratched him earlier. Me and my hands. So yeah, but good luck. Good luck with that. And if you want, you guys know my email, right? I'll put it in the chat if you want to like email me and ask me a question. I am not on this email every day, so if you have like an urgent thing, I'm not the one to call. But if you have, I know you're going on Monday, so I'll look for your email. But yeah. Shamika saying positive. Hello, I'm glad you made it. Hello, hello. Hi, Diane Williams. J Lona, like Abilonia? No, I'm adding extra. J Lona. That's pretty. I like that. My boys' names are Phoenix and Nova. Oh, interesting. For those who know, you know why that's interesting. For everyone else, it's just interesting. I love both of those names. I'm trying to think. I know someone. No, I know a girl named Nova. It's interesting because I wanted to use Dakota, and my sister was like, it has an A. It just reminds me of a girl. And then since then, I've met two male Dakotas, so I'm here for it. I'm here for boys being named Nova. And then my daughter, her name is Cheyenne, but everyone, like, when I remember. Not everyone, but some people are like, why didn't you name her Cheyenne? And I'm like, because I named her after the capital of Wyoming. Anyway, I think all my children will have names from the states of California. I mean, out of California, of the United States. My baby is 4 months tomorrow, and pregnancy brain is real. Oh, yeah. I was telling my sister, I'm like, I hope it's pregnancy brain, either that or like dementia is setting in, but we're not gonna name that. But I can see it in my head, like I know what I mean to say, but then it doesn't come up, or I think that I did something and I didn't do it. You know what I mean? But the doctor did say that I'm still hormonal because of the breastfeeding situation, so we'll see. Yes, regarding the IUI. Yeah, like they will do it to take your money and you might get lucky. I'm not saying it never happens. And I get that some people are like, well, I can't afford IVF, so I'm just going to do 10 IUIs. Well, maybe save the money. Even if you're like, my insurance covers this, but doesn't cover that. Like, it's just a free waste of time, though. Do you know what I mean? And you're still giving your body those, in my opinion, we'll say that. I don't want anybody suing me. But it's just as like, it's a hard road to plow. That's all I'm going to say. It's a hard road to plow. If you can save up and do the IVF, you'll have a better chance. And this is coming from a woman who had 5 transfers before the 6th transfer that got her take-home baby. I wasted my time on those IUIs. If I could get that money back, I wouldn't be worried about the 3rd baby. I put the email in the chat, Tanika at simplytanika.com. Oh, more people agreeing about IUI. Yeah, don't waste your time. And you have, not that it won't happen with IVF, but you're more likely to have a higher order of multiples. I just watched Mama Dr. Jones, a video of hers, where she did like high order multiples. And the ones that had a lot, except for the Octomom, which that doctor lost his license for transferring too many. The other ones were all from IUI. So you do also run that risk of mini babies. Cy Francis, hello, I'm well. How are you? Happy Fri-Yay. He is, and his legs are getting so long. Like when I'm nursing him now, I don't know if you can see that. He's bending them still. When I'm nursing him, like he wraps around me much longer than Cheyenne, and she wasn't that little. You know what I mean, as far as lengthwise or height wise. But yeah, he's getting big, and look at his thighs are getting chunky. You see that? Look at, can I show it off? Look at the little chunks. Thick thighs out here saving lives. Uh-oh. Say, Mom, I'm tired. You gotta hold my head up. You gotta hold my head up, lady. So you gotta hold my head up, lady. I'm sorry, baby. I'm sorry. He didn't want to be in his swing, though. Diane, thank you. The Sims 4. Oh. The ones I play don't really have people. The Sims are like they're alive, right? Or they're AI alive. I have to look at that one. But that one sounds cool. Sometimes it's just good to play the games. Even when I'm like watching TV, I'll just I it helps relieve stress. Christina loves the baby names, yes. Of Jaylana. Happy Friday, Neo Soul Rider. Sugar Bear is 3 months. He's 3 months, right? My big old boy. Today we were doing exercises in the bed and he is mimicking me. So like if I was lifting my legs up, he would lift his legs up. And then nobody asked, but I'm going to be that mom and just tell you about all the things my baby is doing. He found his toes, so he's been holding onto his toes, and then I'll come by and do the little piggies for him, and he thinks it's hilarious. What else has he been doing? He's been grasping things, which is, I posted a picture of him on Instagram. He's holding like the little Montessori ball in his 3-month update picture. So he's grasping, he's reaching for things. So you know how they have like the little tissues, the sensory tissues? So I have them in the little box that, it looks like a toy tissue box. He can pull those out. Now, not with this way. He doesn't have the pincer move, but he can grab it and pull it out. I think it's because it's so lightweight. Like, I think they're made to do that, but he can grab those. And I put them in the rattle and I keep doing that. I can do this with the pincer. He cannot. And then yesterday he sat in the kitchen with me. I was making stew. And so I had to chop up and peel. Uh-oh, what's the matter, sweetie? Your face is getting red. You grunting? You okay there? Uh-oh. He's reaching for a boob. I got a bottle for him. I was ready for you this time, sir. Let's see if he'll go for it. Can I give you the bottle? How's that? Okay. Yes. I don't know what else. So yeah, he's been grabbing those things. He's been busy this week, like super alert. He's doing tummy time for longer stretches of time now. He thinks he's moving somewhere. He kicks his legs. On occasion, he can roll himself from tummy to back, not the other way. What else has he been doing? He's just been busy this week. And I don't know if tolerating is the right word. That's not the right word. His attention span has expanded that I can read him like 2, 3 books at a time instead of just one. He has some of the touch and feel books, though. He's not really keen on the touch. Like, I'll take his hand and kind of guide it, but I don't want to force him to do it. I kind of want him to discover it. So he's not really like, he's like, whatever. Why am I touching this? So yeah, but he has taken interest in his little lovies. He does like those. Oh my God. Like, oh, here's one. These little things, he likes these. Unfortunately, Liberty and Justice also like them. So that's a whole other situation. I did buy them a toy though on Temu, so it should come here. Because I'm thinking like maybe they're, because before, well, you guys, some of you may know, I used to get them a bark box every month, and then I stopped when I was like saving money. And so now when the packages come, they're all for the baby. So I wanted to order them a toy that's just for them. Like, I'm gonna make a big deal out of it when it gets here, just so they don't feel like he's competition. I feel like Justice is a little more protective of him. Liberty is like, who is he? When is he going back? And why does he get toys that he doesn't have to share? So yeah, we're trying to figure all that out. California, meeting him via Zoom. Oh, nice. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I've never seen him in person, so you don't need to do that. They'll just figure out. So hopefully you can just do all your lab work in California then. Maybe it's just New York that is kind of persnickety about these tests. Uh-oh, I'm sorry. Okay, hold on. I need one more hand to scroll and feed. Are you okay there? Okay. They really all fit there. Oh, that's good. Oh my God. I waited until the day before we left the hospital to name the baby too, because I wanted to make sure the name that I picked fit his personality. Yeah, I love that. I am planning to do IVF. My last IVF was in 2013, so it's been years. So I taught of it again. I'm 47 years old, so I'm kind of nervous to do it all over again. I hope I still got a chance. Yes, of course you do. So when you say you're starting all over again, are you doing egg retrieval and transfer, or you had some eggs that were, or not eggs, sorry. You had some embryos that were frozen and now you're transferring them. Embryos frozen in 2013. Either way, you'll go through have you gone through the testing yet and whatnot? Because I feel like even when I did it year to year, I had to go through those tests all over again. But yes, of course you have a chance, girl. Send in you baby tests. Look at Sugar. Oh, thank you, love. Hey, love. How are you? How you doing? Hi, Lisa. I'm trying to enter the job market and trying to target companies that offer adequate fertility insurance coverage open to all suggestions. I'm going to open that up to the chat. NBC Universal definitely has it. You're in Florida, right? I don't know what part of Florida, but there's 2 offices in oh my God. Is it Hialeah? Telemundo is there. The local and the like the corporate headquarters of Telemundo are there. And then there's also NBC Golf is down there. So they definitely, I mean, I work for the NBC Universal. They definitely have good benefits. I heard like Starbucks, I don't have experience with this and I didn't do any research, but like in forums I've seen where Starbucks even part-time will cover. And Walgreens the same. That's all I know, but I'm sure the ladies in the chat, you guys know who has good fertility benefits. Hey, just me, how are you? And hello, Jazz Fame, how are you? And I always want to ask, did you already have your gastric bypass or do you want to have it? 2 of my brothers had that surgery. One of them is no longer with us, rest in peace. But yeah, it's so crazy. 2 of my brothers have passed away. The other one is doing life in prison. And Sugar Bear met the one that's out and about when we went to California. Life is short, you guys. Tomorrow is promised to no one. Lisa, I wish I had the money for IVF. Didn't plan well. Would love to have a little baby at 44 and premature ovarian failure. I would also have to pay for donor eggs, making it more expensive. Oh, yikes. Yeah. There are programs. There's different, what do I want to say? Price brackets for donor eggs because you can get them already frozen, like a 6-pack or a dozen. I don't know why they're like chicken eggs, but they sell them that way. Maybe look into that. Don't count yourself out yet. There might be, I don't know, That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm already preparing to have the second one, even though I don't have a plan for how to pay for it. Like, once I delve into like, what is this going to cost? Like, what do I want in the end, and then price it out. So maybe like call around and see. Maybe it's not as expensive as you think, or maybe you have some credit cards you can max out. I'm not encouraging going into debt, but I most certainly did, even with my insurance, because I ran out. I did it so many times. Um, Laura, hello. Oh, I gotta check my email. That reminds me. I haven't checked it since we talked on the phone, but I will look. And I actually wanted to look at the images that you sent me. He is not Life with Sneak and Kiki. He's only seen her about 3 or 4 times. She is super busy. And she did not go to California with us, but she loves him from a distance. She texted last night, and then I sent her some videos and pictures of him. So yeah. Be Black. Yes, makes sense. I did testing with Repro Store. Okay, I've already gotten the codes from insurance and know what's perfect. So, girl, you are ahead of the game. That's what's up. Thank you so much for the advice. I'll email you. Okay, cool. Yeah, I think that's the hardest part of it is like once you know what insurance will cover, then you can kind of set that money aside. And then plan accordingly, and then whatever your prescription costs are. The good thing is like he's depending on what you get diagnosed with, but mine was like oh my god, something to do with inflammation. So I had to do a lot of I did the anti-inflammatory protocol. So I had like the fish pills, the omegas. Oh my god, I had to take like I think I started off with like 8 for 30 days, then 6, then that was those. Ugh. I'm still taking my DHA. Obviously, it's good for brain development for the baby, but now I take like a normal amount of 2 a day. But those giant horse pills. Oh my god, I'm gonna start doing my ubiquinol again. I need to do some research on ubiquinol and breast milk, but I do feel like for me, ubiquinol was like the fountain of youth. It did not regenerate my eggs, but I feel like it regenerated everything else. Meaning, my body did not behave like a typical 52-year-old during my pregnancy and during, my recovery and everything else. Because people are like, oh my God, you look so good. And I'm like, what did they think I was going to look like? I mean, that's my mind. I should just take the compliment. I know. But it's like, if you ever lose like 20 pounds and people are like, oh my God, you look so good. It's just like, man, how bad did I look? That's how my brain thinks. I'm trying to reprogram it. But yeah, I think ubiquinol helped overall. I think it helps with my energy and youthfulness. So, oh my God, it turns into mommy brain. Yes, I think it's got to be mommy brain. I'm like, it'll go away though. Because after, 29 years later, I didn't still have it with Cheyenne, but oh my God, my brain. Oh yay, I had a successful IUI. She is for awesome. And how old are you? I'm glad you had a successful IUI. I just think after 44, 45, like IUI is not. And my insurance only covered it up until 35 because there's evidence from studies that show that it declines his little long legs. Yes. With it's so cute. I can't wait until he can sit up because then we're gonna do yoga together because he watches me with the yoga, and like I said, he'll do the leg parts too, but he just started doing the leg parts this week, but he can't sit up. Oh, he did though. I was saying that. Did I say that already? I said I was making stew. He was sitting in the booster chair. Oh my God, I know I started to say that because I looked this way, but I don't remember if I said it. Hold on, I'll show you the picture. I sent it to Mama. I'm sorry, baby. Say, pay attention, Mom. Pay attention. Stop feeding the side of my face. My fault. Sorry. Is that better? Is that better? Hopefully you guys will be able to see this on my phone without the glare. Oh, you know what? Let me turn the light down on it. Okay. I don't know if you can kind of see that. So he's in one of the high chairs. The high chair that sits in another chair. I don't know if that's called a high chair or a booster chair, but whatever. He was sitting in that while I was cutting the potatoes because even though my apartment is small, I was in the kitchen and he was over here and he didn't like it. So as soon as he was sitting right there, he was fine. I try to carry him as much as I can, but I swear with the C-section, like sometimes my lower back just hurts. And yesterday was one of those days. I took 3 Tylenol and it was still like no bueno. So sitting him there was good. But I'll be excited when he can sit up. And then even while he was sitting there, I got a little carried away. I gave him one of his little spoons. I'm not trying to feed him at 3 months, don't worry. But I just was like, maybe he should start practice hand like holding his spoon. So I won't start the baby led weaning until he can sit up on his own. But then yesterday I had to do a bunch of research on chairs and like if they're in a chair that sits in a chair, their feet need to be able to be flat and not like dangling. And even in a high chair, their feet need to be able to be flat. It has something to do with like how they digest. I was watching this oh my god, occupational therapist on YouTube, and she has like a baby led weaning channel, and she was going over that. Quan, happy Friday. Why you not? Why you got me touching the? What's this all about? Exactly, Laura. He's like, what is this? Although and maybe it's only in my mind. Somebody's outside my way. I feel like when I talk to him about dogs or puppies, Liberty. Hold on, guys. Sorry if your dogs are barking. Let me just mute it really fast. Can you guys hear me again? Drop a 2. Hopefully, it's saying my audio is muted. I think it's hey Timberly. I'm glad everything is well. Love. Doesn't need to be local. Oh, okay. Yes, that makes sense. Well, I think also because I don't quote me on this, but if you follow Tanika TTC, she's here on YouTube. Her company is in Illinois. It's based there, but she lives in Florida. But so she gets the coverage as if she were in Illinois because that's where the company is based. So I'm not saying work for her company, but I'm saying you might want to look at states that have required fertility coverage and then look for the jobs there. Does that make sense? Like where they're required to have that. Yeah, it's so interesting because I was thinking about this too. I'm like, if I were to go into a job, I mean, I'm not looking for a job. This is just a random thought in my head. Like, would I be willing to ask what their fertility benefits are at the interview? You know how you ask about a benefits package and what, because that's part of your compensation, like comp and ben. Would I ask? Like, it was definitely not something I asked about when I started in 2011 because it's not something I was thinking about. I had just turned 40. It was most certain I was done with having kids, but I don't know. Some of you ladies, the younger ladies, like, would you ask at your job interview if they about their whole benefits package? Because even now at the company, there's a specific number you have to call to get the fertility benefits activated for you. It's not just like a default for everybody, right? So you have to ask for it, and then you have to go. It's through a separate insurance. Well, you have to get a separate card. You have to go through Optum. Even though it's covered by our main insurance, you have to be serviced by Optum. And they cut you off at 50. So I remember when I was doing my last check-in with Optum after I got a positive, I had switched nurses. My other nurse got promoted to some other gig within the same company. And the lady was like, do you plan to have more kids? And I was like, yeah. And she was like, well, you're not going to be covered. But well, then why did you ask me? Like, you just, anyway, yeah, so it depends, but I think if you look at companies, I think there's like 16 states that have mandated fertility benefits. I would start there, me personally. Um, Starbucks tends to have good coverage. She's looking to work remote. Yeah, so that would be Amazon has fertility coverage. What kind of jobs do they have at Amazon? I always talk to the people in chat, but I don't know, like, not to be whatever. I don't think they're in America. I don't think they're all in America. Let me say that. So, not to say that they don't hire Americans. I've just always spoken with people with accents. Yeah, certain states have mandatory coverage. I want to say there's like 16 of them. If you Google like mandatory fertility coverage in America, or what states have, Google might pull up something. Or try that. What is that? GPT chat. Somebody, not a six pack. That yes, 6 and 12. Like chickens. That just was so weird to first of all, why do the chickens come in like 6 and 12? Because sometimes I'll buy like half a dozen. And And then some have a baker's dozen of eggs, which is also weird to me. Because shouldn't that be for cookies? But whatever. I don't know why human eggs are 6 and 12. Like they're. Oh, here's an article with Amazon fertility benefits. Okay, did you link it? I will pull it up if you linked it. Am I missing the link? Love. If you have the article link, I will pull it up. Or if you want to come on and go live with me and talk about it, I'm happy to pull you up here too. Okay, I got the twos. You guys can hear me. Hey, Michelle Bamberg, how are you? Florida is sadly not one of the states that mandate fertility, so it's virtually non-existent. Yeah, Florida is not pro anything. They are like pro. Well, I would say they're pro business, except all the stuff going on with Disney. Like you guys got to get rid of DeSantis, but that's a whole other conversation. But yeah, Florida is for old people. Has anyone heard of the Hello 7 Foundation? Hi, Nicole. I just found out about it, and its mission is in alignment with advocating for maternal care before, during, and after giving birth. I haven't heard of it, but I'm definitely going to look it up. If anybody's heard of it, drop it in the chat. Somebody died here in the Bronx. There was the other woman. I think we talked. Oh, you know what? If you're pregnant, plug your ears. Sorry. I went on a rant. Sorry. I don't mean to say negative pregnancy outcomes to pregnant women. But yeah, there's just been Mama Dr. Jones posted something today too about the increase in it, especially among Black women, not just women of color, but Black women specifically in America. So I'm definitely interested in this Hello 7 Foundation. I got to figure out like how to give back. How do we educate more people to advocate for themselves? I think having a doula helps, but I recognize everybody can't have a doula, but I think being as informed as possible. And even me, like with the information I had, I was fine during the birth part, even though I had the emergency C-section. Like everybody was, I think they were more diligent with me because I have the one kidney. So they were hyper aware of like if there was any bleeding going on, if my swelling was going on, because that could directly impact my kidney function, or it could be a indicator of kidney failure for me. And so they were good, but then I got into it with the pediatrician about the baby's weight, and that was a whole other thing. And I thought I was gonna have to like lose my mind in there. I had to call a lawyer and everything, but I recognize everybody can't do that. So she would have me discharge and have him there, even though I said I didn't want to feed him formula. Like, how is he going to get fed then? You know what I mean? Like the games people play. And she was very condescending and thought I should defer to her on everything. And I'm sure, well, I know I was the oldest one ever in there because a million people came in to tell me that. Like, what are y'all all in my medical chart for? But I'm sure like the younger a woman is, like the more likely she is to kind of bend to this like stern pediatrician. But sis, you got the wrong one. Like all the mama bear alerts went off in me and I was like, no. So I say all that to say, like, if someone has had a delivery and then they have complications, if they don't stand up for themselves, the people are not going to research it. Like if you're saying something feels off in your abdomen because maybe it's bleeding and they don't want to check, or there's something, you know what I mean? Like, so you have to be very firm, and it's not enough to be like, I'm going to sue you, because if you're dead women don't sue. So like you have to be able to address it in that moment and be able to stand up for yourself. I will say I ended up employing the social worker, which helped me in my sort of little plight, if you will. But I don't want to diminish what it is to like die in the hospital or have life-threatening injuries, or it's not injuries. What is it? Be in a life-threatening situation after labor due to something that happened in the labor, due to like poor care or poor response from the team. But if you look at Serena Williams, like she knows her body, is a major athlete, and still had to fight. And had she not, she would be another statistic, So, and I'm sure it didn't hurt that she had a white husband. Everybody ain't got one. So yeah. Shar is appreciative of the help. But thanks, Nicole, for bringing that up. So I definitely will look into Hello 7 Foundation. Ask the financial department from the fertility doctor provider about discounts based on income and scholarships. Oh, interesting. What kind of scholarships? Mickey J. Hey, it's Fri-Yay. Baby Death is gonna be brand new IVF, no fresh embryo storage. Oh, good. Okay. Yes. Okay. So hopefully you're doing all of the things or none of the things, whatever feels good to you, whatever feels right. But I definitely worked on my diet and what I was consuming. And the cycle where I did get pregnant, obviously it was a donor egg at that point. So this may be moot. But I focused on like the anti-inflammatory diet to make my body as receptive as possible. I did meditation, I did yoga. Every morning I was doing yoga, like it was going out of style. And then also acupuncture. I did acupuncture once a week. So I don't know if any of that helps or if you're interested in any of that. I'm not trying to stress you out or add to a list that you may or may not need. So just throwing out what I did. How inflammation will affect you when trying to conceive. Ooh, yeah, that was the ticket for me. It was once addressing the inflammation. Um, that was it. And I gotta get back because I can hear I'm like nasally right now because I've been eating sugar with my cinnamon toast crunch cereal, and I'm trying to think what else. And I've been drinking a lot of Diet Coke. It's not sugar, but it ain't healthy. So yeah. Even states that mandate fertility coverage, it must be a fully insured plan, not self-insured. Oh, okay. I live in New Jersey where it's mandated, but I have self-insured plan. They just started covering fertility in 21. Okay, that's good to know, Timberly. Thank you. So there you guys go. You could be self-insured if you're in a state that covers, although Shar, I don't think Florida covers anything. I think that's what you just said. But if you're in a state that has mandated, then you can do the Affordable Care Act insurance plan or any other self-insured plan. People were self-insured before Affordable Care Act. But yeah, that would be interesting. So that's how I found you on YouTube. I was searching for other mothers, so I've been following you for 4. Oh my God. Yes, that's funny. Somewhere about 40 something years old. My titles. Um, AP class baby. Oh my God. I say I hate to be one of those moms that's like, guess what my baby did? We all think our babies are fabulous, beautiful. I know. It's the hormonal glasses, I guess. Because I think I said this I did say it last time. Like when I first you couldn't tell me my baby wasn't the cutest thing ever. Then I look back at some of those pictures, like when he did lose the weight, and I was like, he looks like a little alien. He's my little alien, but Lord, everybody's too kind. But I do feel like his spirit is beautiful, so that's what people see. Because when we were traveling, everybody's like, oh, he's so beautiful. I think it's like his energy more than just his physical. Because I also feel like Cheyenne is that way, right? Like beautiful on the inside, and it just kind of that light kind of shines out. So I think that's it more than anything. You would ask during salary negotiations. Oh, that's a good point because at that point, they're definitely interested. Yeah. And it is like I would just say that's part of your comp and benefits, like your overall benefits, right? And so you need to know because if they don't cover that, then you can ask for more in compensation, like cash compensation or bonus, like see if I would think you could use it as a negotiating point. Not at the interview, but if I was offered the job, Feather and Rivers. Okay, yeah. Now, if we could get care credit to cover fertility, care does cover your provider has to accept it though. The provider has to accept it, but I was using my care credit for Botox. I originally got it when I had to have my dental surgery, and they gave me like $12,000, and my dental surgery I think was like 6. And that was it the first year, the first 2 years was like interest free, so I did use mine for Botox. But some of my stuff, like prescriptions and whatnot, you can cover on your care. The only thing was Columbia did not accept the care credit card. Your niece works at Amazon in New Jersey. Oh, nice. So what does she do? Is she like, who are the people who do the chat and on the telephone? Like if I was going to go with Amazon, I want to sit down somewhere. I would probably be on the tech side, but I'm just saying in general. What I'm meaning to say is I don't want to be out in the heat. I don't want to be one of the Amazon people out in the heat. Hey, Odar, I'm always struggling with your name. How are you? Happy Fri-Yay. Mickey J, Buzzbeater Baby, celebrate. Oh, hey, woman of many names. Sela, that's your name on Instagram, right? Okay, I'm glad you put that in there. So then where are you, Buzzbeater Baby? Is that on TikTok? I'm glad you clarified. Now I know exactly who you are. Well, no, tech companies on the West Coast have some of the best fertility coverages, I'm sure. I feel like any of like the Fortune 100 are going to have really great fertility coverage because they want to be competitive, right? They want to attract and retain top talent, and that is what talent is looking for. So that makes total sense to me. Fertility for colored girls has some. Oh, has some what? Fertility for colored girls. I gotta look this up. Okay. Hold on. I can't see you guys, but you guys can see me. I'm just gonna Google it. Fertility for colored girls. I like that. Oh, grants, and grants. Hold on, I'm gonna pull this up. Fighting fertility, giving hope. Okay, let me share with you guys. Share screen, present. Share screen, share screen. Um, why is it not showing me that? I think I have one too many open. Hold on. I was looking up the death penalty in Iowa earlier, so that is up on my screen. Um, because I don't know if you guys have been watching the Terrell, the Henry Dinkins trial for murder in Breasia Terrell. Breasia, not convicted. They found him guilty. The judge found him guilty today. So I was looking up, like, could he get the death penalty? Anyway, that's a whole other. I gotta talk to somebody about it. I'm gonna make a video and just post it on my somewhere because I'm like, I have so many thoughts on that. But let's try to share this again. Let me stay focused. Select a tab. No, it's not letting me see this. Okay. I'm just gonna drop it in the chat then. It's fertilityforcoloredgirls.org. I don't know why it's not letting me share it, but I'll put it in the chat in case you guys wanna. Oh god. Oh, you know what? Can I do my entire screen and then you guys will be able to see it, but it'll be a little. No, I don't want to do that. Let me just put it in the chat. And I'll read out some of it. Helping you build the family of your dreams. There's I don't know what these mean. FFCG and Kind Body Grant, a baby launch grant, a gift of hope, RMA Pearl. Although I wouldn't go to RMA, but if it's free, why not try it? They have something called a Pearl Mini IVF, but they definitely have grants. So, and then they have a resources page. Let's see. Reproductive endocrinologists. And all these lovely women of color. There's one man, Michael A. Thomas. You guys know I went to Dr. Thornton, but that ended up being the ticket for me. Anyway, that's an option. Thank you for sharing that. Grants and free meds. Okay. Oh, free meds too. Yeah. So you guys check that out if you're so inclined. I'm not trying to tell you how to live your life. Okay. Let me get some tea. Aww. Quan says, I recently became a fertility doula because I wish I had one during my journey. Look to give some paid and free time some way and somehow. One, congratulations on doing that. That sounds awesome. I wonder if that's something I have time to do. Probably not after I have the second baby, but I like that idea. And I think it helps because I think that was like one of the things I talked about with my doula is like women who have gone through IVF have a different approach than women who got pregnant naturally. And they also have a different trust of doctors. Like I definitely trusted my MFM beyond a shadow of a doubt. Oh, shoot. Hey, Google, stop. It's 8:00. That timer goes off for me. But yeah, I think that's cool. Yes, complications. Courageous human being. I know I'm always, thank you. I don't feel so courageous. I sometimes it's the tenacity, but it is also, I could just be foolish, you know. Sharif Wilson, hello, happy Friday. Yeah, that inflammation is no joke. I also am gonna have to check on that fibroid because before starting this journey, I had none. And then right before this transfer with Sugar Bear, they found the one that was 2. And it was actually the endocrinologist who found it. And then I sent those scans to Dr. McConnell, and she confirmed it also with the endometriosis. They were like, oh, you might have that too. And she was like, on that scan, it actually does look like you have it. But I had multiple scans before that. I had 2 like saline sonos. I had a polyp removed, like, and it hadn't been there before. So I don't know if that was like a result of the medication, but we would definitely have to check that too before I have like another cycle. Okay, fine. I won't get IHOP for dinner. We're not trying to shame you out of IHOP. Everything in moderation, right? I feel like, well, for me, my personality, if I tell myself absolutely don't have that, that doesn't work. Like, I have to either wean myself down or like make a deal with myself, because there's, again, the rebellious side of me that'll be like, I'm gonna have it anyway. Don't ask me why. I work for Princeton Healthcare, part of Penn Medicine. They are self-insured. They started covering birth control in 2002. They dictate everything. A lot of big employers are self-insured. Okay. I'm not sure what that means for the big employers to be self-insured, as opposed to like ours. I definitely know goes through Independence Blue Cross. But I don't know if that's self or not. She works in HR. Who works in it? Oh, your cousin that works at Amazon. Okay, I gotta read faster. Sorry. It funds life-changing and life-saving services like doulas and midwives for Black birthing people in need. Okay. Oh, nice. So maybe my doula knows about it, because she has community clients, and so they serve people in need. A small nonprofit, have helped 12 families as of November 22nd. As of November 22, as in 2022, applications are open. Okay. So you guys check that out if anybody is in need there. IG also, LOL, all the names. All of the names. I'm here for it. The people that you chat with are either remotely working from home or in a big call center in the Mideast, the Caribbean, etc. Okay, that makes sense. I think it's probably the Caribbean then, because they definitely have accents. I'm always calling when my package does not show up. And then they're like, wait a day. And I'm like, I already waited. I already did all that. Where's my stuff? I need my stuff, or I need my money. Hey, Natasha. Good evening. How are you? Brown Eyed Queen. I finally found a partner to try to conceive with. We're planning to co-parent. I just don't feel like I should have to get married. You shouldn't, but you should definitely have an AIDS test. Just saying. But yeah, you don't have to be married to have. Oh my God, there's this other thing. I got to get off maternity leave, because when he's asleep, I should be sleeping or cleaning, but I'm all up in people's business on YouTube. So anybody here watch the T and K family and her husband, which I think his is something, the original me, the official me. So they're married, separated. She's pregnant. Question mark if the kid that she's pregnant with is his. She has triplets that were 3 months when they got together, and then they have a son together, but he considers the triplets his daughters, right? Because he basically raised them. They are separated but not divorced. She just had him put out of his play. She alleges that he wanted sex from her, and when she didn't give it, he got upset and she didn't feel safe. The law says the baby that she's pregnant with is his financial responsibility because he's the husband, right? It's just like if you do donor eggs and you're married, you have to have your husband's consent, because the child will be his either way, irrespective of if it's his sperm or not. So the whole like construct, I think, of starting the family and being married, I could go on a whole tangent about it. I'm not in support of the patriarchal society. If that's your thing, your religion, whatever, good for you. I'm not judging you. Please don't judge me. It's not for me, is what I'm saying. And I think it is, I don't think it's fair to women. The thing is, like, I was watching somebody's video and they were like, oh, why you should save yourself for marriage. Why are you saving yourself? Like, one, is it some weird fantasy that men just want to have sex with virgins? And so they tell you to save yourself so that you're clean and untainted, right? I hear men saying that, oh, I want a clean woman. Like, well, where are the women you've been finding? How are they unclean? And then if a man has sex before marriage, somehow that makes him more manly, right? Like, I don't know. Although, remember Phaedra Parks was like, she wanted a clean husband, even though her husband had been in jail, meaning he didn't have any kids, which I'm like, you don't know what he been doing in jail, sis. Anyway, that's a whole other story. But yeah, I don't think you have to have um a husband to do it. And I think, or you can have two husbands or two wives or whatever. Like, I think family is what you make it, how you build it, it looks like what you want it to look like, is what I'm trying to say. Like, it doesn't have to be this typical homogenized man, woman was a virgin, they're gonna have X amount of kids, all the kids are gonna be by the same father. Yeah. Because that gets me too when people are like, oh, her kids have different dads. Well, maybe the first dad was an asshole and she learned from that. You know what I mean? Like, you going to keep having kids with an asshole just so you can say all your kids have the same dad? Like, that makes no sense to me. Anyway, good for you, Brown Eyed Queen. I'm excited for you. I don't know what I'm talking about. I just went off on a tangent. Trigger warning. I'm glad that you found some, and I'm glad that you decided you wanted a co-parent. I definitely have male friends or who are going to help me with Sugar Bear, and I connected him with one of my brothers while we were in California. So I definitely am figuring out like who his male contact is, just because I feel like he is not necessarily going to want to model after me all the time. Right. And so I just got to figure out like what that looks like. But I'm glad that you found a path that works for you. Some people want single to be broke and lonely so bad. You know what I mean? Like you're somehow defective, but it's a lifestyle choice. I have two fibroids outside of my uterine cavity. Sorry, Shamika. And one has grown since I've been pregnant, and it's sitting like right at the top of my stomach now. Oh, wow. So at the top, like at the fundal area. And is it going to impact delivery? Ooh, yeah. That's interesting that it grew while you were pregnant. No one commented on mine during pregnancy, so hopefully it didn't, but who knows? Who knows? Wyndham Hotels has good coverage for IVF procedures. The coverage for meds is okay and getting better. Okay, that's good to know. I did ibuprofen every night as well as the omega-3 a few months prior to my last transfer, as well as acupuncture and castor oil packing. Don't know which one helped, but the third time around worked awesome. Yeah, I cannot have ibuprofen because I have the one kidney, but I did do the low dose aspirin, 81 milligram. I need to look all that up again because I'm like, I wonder if I can talk Dr. McConnell into not subscribing. But if you're new here and you haven't, you are welcome to subscribe, and I would greatly appreciate you prescribing what Dr. Thornton prescribed. Do you know what I mean? Like, granted, he did regular testing to adjust it. So, for example, Lovenox, I started off with 40 milligrams, and then after that first test, it was reduced to 30. My MFM questioned it though, like, why did they give you 30? Like, most people have 40. And so she was like, was that just a random? And I explained to her they did the test, and she was like, oh, okay. Her whole thing was like, she wasn't fully bought in on the reproductive immunologist. She was not fully like, yeah. Because then he had me continue so many medicines into it. She was like, it's not going to hurt anything, so it's fine. But she wasn't completely sold on the whole protocol that I was doing. But yeah, I'm glad that you found what worked for you. The inflammation is like dangerous. My 4-month son is over here chatting it up with you. Hello, 4-month-old. What's going on? What's happening? How you doing? It won't impact delivery. And my MFM asked me, was I having any pain? But I'm not having any pain other than this little fella kickboxing. Oh, okay. Well, perfect. Good. He's in there kung fu fighting. Everybody was kung fu fighting. Sugar Bear did not really, he wasn't a kicker. He was in there like slow dancing. Weren't you? You were slow dancing. He was like, boop. Yes. Why are you staring at me like that? Why are you staring at Mama say, Mama saw, I'm your mama. Mama say, Mama saw, I'm your mama. Okay. Oh wait, shoot, I wanted to see that. My man and I are where did that go? Sarah. My man and I aren't married. Both of us have been before. We have been together for 11 years now. I don't feel like you have to be married to have a baby. I'm the same, Sarah. You don't have to be married. Marriage is like a contract. There's a whole bunch of legal stuff attached to being married. What are the benefits of acupuncture as pertaining to fertility? So if I went to a fertility acupuncturist and we targeted certain things of like getting blood moving, they do an assessment of you, so it will be different. It could be different depending on how you present. But we worked on stagnant blood for me, so getting it moving and heating up the uterus. For me, the most important thing actually was like calming me down. I was at a place in my life where I was like always running around, and so that was once a week that I just had to lay down and be still because I had needles in me, and then I would either she would play music or I would bring in guided meditations. Like on YouTube, I would plug it into my phone and just have it in my ears. And it helped me center, but there are pathways that they're connecting. She also helped me with my lining at different points. It depends on what you are looking for, but I would definitely recommend going to a fertility acupuncturist. I started at a place known for that, Yin Ova. And then when not my acupuncturist, but the woman who serviced me, Dr. Clara, when she left and started her own practice, I followed her because I had a connection with her. But they're definitely into fertility, if that makes sense. It worked for me. It doesn't work for everybody else. And then I did like a substitute acupuncture on one of the on two of the transfers, I think, just because it was like in walking distance from my clinic. It wasn't as calming, but it was calming. You know what I mean? They weren't doing, it was at a like a spa place. They weren't necessarily doing fertility acupuncture, but I would direct them into what I wanted. Like I wanted to be relaxed. They did the unicorn pin here, which helps you sleep, like those sorts of things. But the last two transfers, I asked for Valium. So I was definitely relaxed. And I did not do acupuncture immediately before my transfer on the transfer that got me Sugar Bear. I came straight from home. My MFM actually recommends I have my baby at 37 weeks since I've developed gestational diabetes and have hypertension. So we are going in on October 16th. That makes sense. A lot of advanced maternal age moms are recommended to go at 37. A lot that I've seen on YouTube have. I went almost 40 weeks. Well, I was 39 weeks and 6 days. I delivered the day before my before 40 weeks. And she had scheduled the induction on the 31st of May. And then I had the baby on June 2nd. He was due on June 3rd. But I had no complications during my pregnancy. No hypertension, no diabetes, no swelling in my legs even. Like I was, presented like a 29-year-old. So we didn't have to worry about that. But 37 is full term, and that reduces your risk. And you know what I mean? And like I've seen some women on YouTube who ended up having preeclampsia, so they went even before that. So are you planning on doing a C-section? Are you going for vaginal? Are you going for vaginal, hoping for the best? Because I definitely thought I was having vaginal, but at the end I was like, just get my baby here. Yeah. So at least next time going in, I know I'll be doing a cesarean. So because the recommendation is if I do an elective cesarean, I can have a shorter term to the next baby versus if I want to do a VBAC, vaginal birth after cesarean, which isn't guaranteed, but if I wanted to try for it, I'd have to wait longer to get pregnant because the MFM was saying it's more rigorous activity. And so not the vagina, oh my God. The uterus has to have healed longer. The uterine wall has to have healed longer. Hey, Mercedes Jimenez. How great is it that something IVF doulas love it? Tanika started to ask, did you do intralipids? I did not. I was prescribed intralipids, the not intralipids, IVIG. But because of the timing, I ended up taking Plaquenil instead, or hydroxychloroquine, as it's known by its other name. But yeah, it was originally recommended IVFIG. Or not IVFIG, IVIG. Am I saying that right? It's akin to intralipids, but it's not exactly the same thing that's given intravenously. I did about 10 sessions of acupuncture earlier this year. Beyond the medical benefits, it's brought me a level of consistent, eternal peace, physically and mentally. Totally. I would agree. Like, I just felt calmer. It was a nice time to reset. Like, whatever, I felt like my aura was cleansed, whatever she was doing, I just came out at peace. And I really needed that, especially after the failed IVFs. You know what I mean? Like, I'd been doing it basically since 2017, I believe. Late 2017, early 2018, I'd been doing it. But over time too, it's not just like that moment that you have it or immediately after. Like, over time I felt that it was calming, and I think my acupuncturist would agree. I think Dr. Clara would agree. Like, it's cumulative as well as in the moment, if that makes sense. um how has the train been with the stroller? Train has been fine. Subway has been fine. I've only been on it 2 or 3 times. Stroller and car seat was amazing on the plane. So it was easy peasy. Best thing ever. And then I also had the body carrier, so I would put him in that, and then I would put my bag in the stroller and go through. I did gate check for the stroller and car seat. All of the planes we got on, which is a little cumbersome, honestly, with the connecting flight. But I mean, it's the same as if you gate check anything on a connecting flight, right? You have to wait for it on the first plane and then put it again on the second plane at the gate. But it was great. And then we took the train, the Amtrak, while we were in California, because we went from Sacramento to Fresno on the train, which is about 3 hours. And it was great there. I folded up the stroller and put it in the luggage rack, like the one on the floor. I didn't lift it up, but put it in the luggage rack. And then I paid for a seat for him on the train, so I just put his car seat in that seat. um and then on the subway, yeah, it's been fun. It's in one of the vlogs. I came back from the doctor's office, my 6-week appointment, my 6-week checkup. So yeah, that was our first time on the subway. It was when he was 6 weeks. And someone offered to help carry it down, which was nice. It's the carrying up that is really kind of a pain, but I think it's gonna be that way with anything. Um but I was at 6 weeks, I was healed from the surgery, right? But it's still, my back was more sensitive then. Hopefully over time, like as I continue my yoga and exercise, I can build up my muscles again, and hopefully my back will hurt less. That's the fingers crossed. But I'm not sure. But yeah, it's been amazing and great. Although today I was looking at Uppa Babies, because Uppa Baby has it where you can add a second seat, like if you have a second baby, and they stack on top of each other. But we'll see, because then I watched somebody else's video and she was like, she really didn't need the second seat until like the second child was about 8 months, because she would wear one and put the other one in the stroller. So maybe we'll do that. I'll see. I won't be going anywhere the first 6 weeks because I'll have to heal from the surgery. But yeah, stroller is amazing. So thank you, love, for that, because I got that stroller and car seat because of her. Or thanks to her. I was going to get it anyway, but she funded it for me. So I appreciate you, love. Is it pronounced Isha? I have my childhood best friend, her name is Isha Latia. And it reminds me of that when I see Isha. Okay, that seems to be all of the questions. Yeah. So it was exciting to use the stroller and car seat on the trip. It was just helpful, and I was able to manage it, with the stroller and the car seat in one hand, and then my luggage and carry on in the other hand, because it's got the wheels that do all the directions. So that part was pretty straightforward. Some people were acting brand new at the TSA. It was just a different experience each time. So I'm like, either somebody's not following the rules, because it should be the exact same experience, or someone's taking liberty on the rules. So like the first one, they made me walk the stroller through, but they put the car seat through, and the car seat got stuck. So when it came out, like half the cushion was off, which is fine because it comes off anyway. It's washable, right? But I'm like, damn, what was going on in the conveyor belt? And then they also scan, totally tangent, but in case you're traveling with the newborn, they scan the formula bottle. They don't open it. And I had powder, and then I had the little, like, not emergency, but ready to use 2-ounce. I use it for an emergency if I'm in a pinch. They had their gloves on. They had to like wipe it down. I'm assuming people must smuggle drugs in those things. I don't know. And then when we came back from California, they put the stroller and the car seat on the scanner, so I didn't have to carry it through the metal detector. When we left, he had on his he had his house shoes on, coming and going, with a little teddy bear on them, and his passy holder has a teddy bear on it. I'm trying to see. It's over there. When we left, they were like, "Oh, he has to take those off." I was like, "He has to take his socks off," and the guy was like, "Oh, I thought it was a toy." I'm like, "Who wears a toy?" So, but then they were like inspecting it to make sure nothing was packed inside the teddy bear part of the socks in the pacifier. So I thought that was like on 10. They did not do that leaving California. So it was interesting. I learned a lot. I'm going to do a video on tips for traveling with the newborn. But yeah, the stroller was amazing. I highly recommend it if you are a traveler. If you're not a traveler or you're not in an urban city, you don't really need it. But that hooked up in the Uber, Lyft, hooked up in my sister's car. It was easy peasy. There's no base, so that helps. It never has a base. Like I know some people were like, you can get the Duna and you don't have to use the base. Like this doesn't come with the base. It has these two prongs, so for the newer cars, it just locks in that way. If it's not a newer car, it won't have the locks, and you'll just like bring it around. But like, I'm trying to think where car. My sister and her husband have an Audi and a Jeep. They plugged in fine. My aunt picked me up in her Audi from the train station. It clicked in fine. Hers even had covers for it for where it goes in, so it was like easy. You can just visually see. Some of them you have to stick your hand in there. We came home from the hospital in like a Suburban. It had it, the Suburban with the split seat in the back. Yeah, I'm trying to. Does it? I think some of the Camrys have it because I know we went to the vet the night before. That was a whole other thing. Like I was boarding the dogs, but I didn't call until the Thursday before we flew out. And they were like, "Oh, by the way, this vaccine and this vaccine has expired." And I was like, "Oh shoot." So that was like an extra $480 that I was not planning to spend before we left. And it was pouring down rain. So the dogs were soaked when we got there. But it fit in that car too. Which that was like one of those, what do they call them? It's like the van. It's like the Mercedes van, like you see them in Europe or at least on the European movie. What is that thing called? It has a name. But anyway, so that it fit in there fine, and it had the latches. I keep going like this. There's two prongs on the side of it that hook into the seat. So yeah, if you are a traveler or if you're in a city and going to be in like a lot of ride shares, I definitely recommend you get the Nuna. It was nice. Up a Baby has the same thing. It's heavier though. That's the only thing. So I'm glad I got the lighter one, especially like having had the C-section. But I haven't had any issues with it. And it has a cover for the stroller, so I just put the cover on it like at gate check. But it definitely helped. Because I think like if you go and you rent a car, you can also rent a car seat, but I believe they charge you by the day. And then I was looking last night. There's another one. Uh-oh, you don't want that? For when they get older, it's lighter weight and you can put it in a backpack. It kind of folds. That's also a seat for the plane and a seat for your rental cars. So yeah. But again, you can rent one when you get there, but they charge you by the day. So that's a whole other thing. But then also somebody was telling me you don't even necessarily have to have a car seat in the New York ride shares. You can like have the baby strapped to you like on the plane. I wouldn't do that because I got enough anxiety going on. But if you travel here, definitely research it. I'm just saying that's what I heard, girl. Okay. Oh, I'm missing comments because I'm running off at the mouth. Hallelujah. Okay. Okay. Laura. I joined an additional gym locally because they are doing a promotional month and they have 3 different types of yoga classes, and I want to do more of that over this next month. Oh, awesome. Yeah, I highly, highly recommend it. And I did yoga throughout my the last trimester was a little rough because I had the extra fluid, but before, like the first 2 trimesters, I was very consistent with the yoga. And it definitely helped me because when I was in the hospital, the nurses were like, "You're moving really well after your surgery. Most people don't move that well." I was like, "I think it's the yoga. Like I'm still limber even though I'm cut. You know what I mean? Like, so I was able to kind of accommodate. I mean, it hurt, don't get me wrong, but I was able to move, which was nice. And if you're going to be pushing, it always helps because that one at the end where they're like holding your legs up. Oh, you're getting sleepy. Okay. No. Oh, okay. We might have to go here soon. But I like that. And some insurance companies offer either a discount on healthcare plans, or if you join a gym that's not where they don't offer the discount, they'll give you money back. for joining the gym. That and also taking like those bio whatever metric tests. You can get like $100 credit or $100 cash for doing those. So those are always like nice incentives. Oh, okay. He's like, Mom, what is happening right now? Um, Something continues to evade me, and he's melatonin, Zoloft, magnesium, etc. I still have trouble getting to sleep in. What is up to the most? I think melatonin, you don't want to do more than 3 milligrams. It can impact your hormones. If you're doing a transfer, I imagine it doesn't matter because they're going to medicate you. But like if you're prepping for egg retrieval, you wouldn't want to do that. Um, Zoloft is my jam, but it doesn't help sleep. Magnesium definitely helps sleep. You got to be careful which magnesium you pick. Magnesium citrate will have you go into the bathroom on the regular. Um, I do magnesium sulfate. But there is this one product, Calm, CALM, that has magnesium citrate. It will keep you regular if you're constipated, which I used during my third trimester just to keep things moving. And I actually had to up it because it was not working. And even when I upped it, I still wasn't like going to the bathroom like I wanted to. Whole other story. Anybody else have constipation in the third trimester? But yeah, magnesium definitely help, but also like guided meditation help, like just to calm everything down, right? And tap into your parasympathetic nervous system and shut everything else down. Hi, how you doing? You okay? Okay. Um, but yeah, Laura, you got the bright idea to take a spin class, and no one told me that I should have worn padded shorts or something because the 1 hour spin class got my thighs effed up. Listen, oh my God. My sister, her husband is a motorcycle rider and they ride, and I'm like, I don't know how. I can't, not the thighs, the butt. I can't. I used to ride when I was little with my dad, and even then, I mean, I don't have a big butt, so that might be part of it, but it was no bueno. But the spin classes, I mean, good for you for doing it, but I heard those can be brutal overall. Um, yeah, I'm like a low impact kind of girl because, well, at least the ones I saw, they have them like up on their legs, then back down again, up on their legs, even though they're on the bike. Like, oh, it's too much jiggling for me. What helped me the most was sleep. I don't know what the single thing was that helped. And honestly, sometimes I still struggle, but I definitely feel like the magnesium did. And then honestly, during pregnancy, I started taking Benadryl. Like when I did my childcare class, they said you can take that during pregnancy. And they also recommended it for labor because it'll just help you sleep. So that was a no brainer for me. The no dye Benadryl. I'm not, I mean, check with your healthcare provider, but that put me to sleep for sure. But having like a regular nighttime wind down routine helped. The melatonin 3 milligrams. There was one other GABA, but don't I wouldn't recommend GABA during the TTC part because then I later read that it can mess with your receptivity, your uterine receptivity. So I didn't research it too much further, but I remember reading that. Just like the same with don't take turmeric after you're pregnant. I saw that on Arlette's video that she had found that out, which I was grateful for because I had been taking turmeric and daily, and it was like that's a no-no when you're pregnant. That doesn't help with sleeping. I'm just saying that was more for anti-inflammation. But yeah, are you ready to burp now? Yes, yes, sir. Okay, hold on. Let me get you up. I know. Let's just burp you for a while. I know you're still hungry, but I'm worried about you spitting up later. Okay. Oh, there was one. Let me see. Okay. Um, but yeah, just like experiment with it too. Maybe it's a hot bath, maybe it's warm milk, you gotta find like what the key is to unlock the sleep for you. Um the Sprinter, oh my God, thank you. So they're in the Sprinter, yeah. Because I had that with the dogs and that was easy. Oh my God. Everybody was like, how did you do it with the dogs? I was like, I don't know. I do not know. But I had the 2 dogs, the baby, the car seat, the stroller, the rain. But we got over there to the vet because we were not trying to miss our plane on Friday. Um, Somebody was like, "Did you take the dogs to California?" I'm like, "Oh my God, do you think I can handle two dogs and a newborn on a plane?" Like, no. The dogs were in a kennel in New York. They had a little staycation. Oh my God. Um, Thank you, Sarah. The constipation is real. Oh yes, yeah. So the calm helped me with that. In that case, magnesium citrate was my friend, because that would just I was just uncomfortable at the end, uncomfortable and tired. Grateful. Don't get me wrong, grateful. But after work, I would want to come and lay down. That was my jam. The bed, me in the bed. My thighs and butt started burning so bad when I was sitting that I just started standing the whole time. The instructor looked at me funny. I figured if I didn't do it now, then it's now. Okay, good for you though. I mean, listen, you had a notion and you got into action, made it more than a notion. My hat is off to you because I'm not built for that. Oh yeah, well, good to check with your provider. That was what the nurse told us during the my childbirth class, and then I was all over it after that. And I only took one. It doesn't like knock you out immediately, and it doesn't make you. It didn't make me. I should say that. Preface that. It didn't make me drowsy the next day because that's what I was worried about. There's sometimes before when I had taken like pills that were sleeping pills and I did not like how I felt the next morning. So I didn't do that. But it's not gonna like knock you out. So I just built it into like my nighttime routine. Bath, like some tea, some music, the candles. I was lighting the candles every night, like nobody's business. And then, like a little wind down routine. And then I would go and lay down. And that would just take me through. Because I also had an issue where I could sleep, I could fall asleep, but then I wasn't staying asleep. And that kind of seemed to be my magic potion of like getting to sleep and staying asleep and not popping up at 2 o'clock with a bunch of ideas for work. Yeah. The insomnia is real. Gynecologist recommended Unisom for sleep since it's given to women in pregnancy with B6 as a treatment for nausea. Oh, nice. There you go. Luckily, I didn't have any nausea, but that totally makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. I think it might have been the Unisom that made me groggy. I didn't take it during pregnancy though. It was before. It might have been another sleeping pill. I didn't have that side effect with the Benadryl, and I also had like a little bit of congestion, and it worked. It works for like anti-inflammation, so it was like the Benadryl made sense for me, but the Unisom will probably make sense for other people, and it definitely is pregnancy safe. So yeah, and the B6. Oh my God. I took the Preggy Pops. I never had nausea in the sense of like I'm throwing up or I feel like everything hurts, but I had that like weird taste. And so I had those Preggy Pops, not the lollipop one, but the drops, or maybe they're called Preggy Drop. It's the same company. Um, the lemon and the strawberry, everything tart tasted so good when I was pregnant. It was like amazing. Okay, where are you going? You doing the herky jerky? What are you looking for? Where are the girls? Oh, there's Justice. Are you looking at Justice? All right, ladies. Well, thank you for hanging out with us. I appreciate you. I hope you guys all had a wonderful week. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. If you haven't hit the thumbs up and you enjoyed it, please give me a thumbs up. It helps the channel out. Costs you nothing, I promise. And yeah, if you're on the replay crew, I appreciate you. Drop a blue heart in the comments. And I will talk to y'all later. Let me get the outro going. Bye, ladies.